We have two computers here. On the left we have a Toshiba Satellite Pro with an Intel Pentium processor and 500 megabytes of RAM, and on the right we have an Acer Aspire 1 with an Intel Atom processor and a gigabyte of RAM. So if we go to My Network Places and view the workgroup computers that we have, we should see that we have a network computer. Well, we've got two of them right now. Satellite Pro is this computer here, and Samba server, in brackets banana, is this computer here. Banana is the host name of this computer, I called it banana. So let's try and connect to it. This stage takes a while, only because Windows is trying to authenticate the connection with this computer's credentials, which isn't going to work, because this computer's credentials does not match this computer's credentials. It's just the default behavior whenever you try and connect to something. Not really sure why, but if we put in the username and password that I set up this computer to have, we should be able to connect to it. There we go. So we got two things. One is a folder, well, a network share called network share, and two is a folder with printers and faxes. I haven't set up this computer to have any printers associated with it. So we should see the printers and faxes section is empty, but this is important to note because we can set up printers with this computer and have them accessible via any Windows computer, which is very nice if you have Linux and Windows computers in the same workplace. So the second thing is the network share. This is a network share. You need to be logged in to view this. It's protected. It's not freely available. And here we see a Word document, a WMV file, and an MP4 file. These are the same thing. This is just frozen. This is just to demonstrate the network capability of Samba. So remember, we have pretty trench tier hardware, but we can still watch Frozen. See? Works great. And if we want to do some work, we open up this document. We can save it. File. Save. Done. Close it. It's there. We can even make a new little text. Save it, close it, go over here. Go to the right directory. There we go, there it is. And you can't see it, but trust me, it says hello. It's just the screen is a bit bright. It works perfectly. There you go. One final thing I forgot to mention, and probably the most important thing, is that you can map Samba file shares to drive letters just as you can with any other file share. So here I've mapped the Samba file share to B, and we can access it by double clicking on it, and it should bring up exactly the same thing that we've seen before, except now it says B. Now this is good because you don't have to type in the username and password every time you want to connect to it. I'm just going to show you how I've done that. If I disconnect it first, then we go up to Tools, Map Network Drive. We pick the drive letter we want to map. We want to do B, B for banana. I just chose that arbitrarily, obviously, and then we put in the folder. Now I'm not sure what you'd call this. This isn't really the NetBIOS name. It's more like the work group followed by the file share name. So we put in banana. No, that's not the work group. The work group is work group. Well, that's the work group I'm using, but obviously that's not important. And then we put in network share. And I can't spell. There we go. That's the full thing. I spelled it correctly. And one other thing you want to know is we want to connect as a different user. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier about the default behavior is that it tries to log on with this computer's credentials, which isn't going to work because they're slightly different on the server. For one, this account doesn't have a password associated with it, but the Samba username, or the Samba account rather, does have a password associated with it. So I put that password in, and now it's going to connect using that password, and boom, we got it. There you go. That's the system that we could have in place.